And a dramatic change coming to the weather across the eastern U.S., especially the southeast, as we head into Monday. And that's the story on the feed. And I want to show you how we came up with this forecast and why it's going to be getting so cold here. So you're going to be looking at some of the tools that I use on a daily basis. And of course, you can get all these on the AccuWeather.com pro site here. But let's begin with the upper air pattern here. And this is what you hear, the jet stream. Now, this was last evening, and this is the kind of the pattern we've seen all week, what we call a zonal flow. You see how it's kind of west to east? And with that kind of flow, all the cold air gets locked up in here. In the central Canada, the southern U.S. stays warm and dry, and we've certainly had that for the most part this week. But you see this here. This is an upper low. This is the Arctic air. Very cold air. It's been sitting over Hudson Bay all week. But here's what's going to happen. This last storm in a series of storms that came in the northwest late yesterday, this is what's going to change things and allow that cold air to come southward. Because when we play it forward here, watch, as we head toward the evening, here's Friday evening. Let me take you to Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. All right, so here's that storm. It was up here today. It comes southward. And as this rounds the bend, all of this cold air, and I mean all of it, is going to start coming southward as we move into the weekend. And as you play this through, I want you to watch how this goes all the way down into the southeast by Monday. You ready? We're going to play it through. So here we go. Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday afternoon. Look at how that just rotates and comes right across the southeast, right in here. There's 1 o'clock. Then there's the evening. But I mean, that is a tremendous amount of cold air coming southward here. Let me show it to you again. Watch this come south. There it is. Now, you'll notice that the lowest number here, you see 534, 540, that's showing you the height of the 500 millibar. But basically what it's showing you is the core of the upper low is right across parts of Tennessee, Alabama, and into Georgia. And that represents some of the coldest air. So listen, you're going to feel this across the Midwest and also the Northeast. But relative to normal, you're going to have the coldest readings across the southeast. Now, how cold are we talking here? Just to give you an idea, when you take a look at this air mass and compare it to the historical average, you're talking underneath that upper low, and there it is across Tennessee. These areas from Nashville toward Knoxville, toward Atlanta, toward Birmingham, you're looking at temperatures 20 to 25 degrees below the historical average. And just to give you a sense on how cold this is, relative to normal, this air mass that's coming into the southeast will be colder than what you would normally see in January. That is quite chilly. Now, what I can do is I want to show you how nasty it's going to be in this area on Monday across the southeast, because not only are you going to be looking at cold air, but you're going to be looking at some wind here. I want to show you what we're looking at here. So these are the temperatures projected by some of the modeling, and this is Monday afternoon. So what you're looking at here, this is the 50-degree line. It goes all the way down to southern parts of Mississippi, Louisiana. So that's the 50 line. How about the 40 line is all the way in here. It goes all the way down into Tennessee. 30s in Kentucky and Tennessee. 40s in Alabama and Georgia. 40s. And if that isn't bad enough, look at the projected winds. And I want to show you and let you know that these winds and these lines, the black lines, are coming out of the northwest, right? Where you see the yellow is where you are getting not gust. These are sustained, well, these are gusts. You're looking at wind gusts between 30 and 35 miles per hour. In the green, it's in the 20s. So think about that. Temperatures are in the 40s, and you're going to be looking at AccuWeather RealFeel temperatures. AccuWeather RealFeel temperatures, as we head in the Monday afternoon, they're going to end up being in the 20s. Now, here's the actual high temperatures here, just to show you how cold this is. Nashville, you're going to be in the 30s most of the day. 43 degrees in Atlanta, 49 in Montgomery, even Jacksonville in at 60 degrees. Now, I want to go back to this because I want to show you as we go forward in the Monday night, Tuesday morning, you're going to see a lot of these colors go away. That's telling us that the wind is beginning to weaken here. Look at this by Tuesday morning. You have an area of high pressure here and lessening winds all the way down into the Florida Panhandle and up into Tennessee. What does that mean? Clear skies, light winds, dry air. We're going to be looking at a frost and a freeze pretty far south for this time of the year. In fact, we're looking at a freeze all the way down to Birmingham and Montgomery. That's where temperatures are going to be below freezing for an extended period of time. But we also have a frost mentioned all the way down toward Interstate 10. And oh, by the way, even on even Tuesday night into Wednesday, it's going to be another cold night. Let me show you this map again, showing you how the winds continue to lessen on Tuesday. And then by Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, you have an area of high pressure here across southern parts of Alabama. And with that, that's going to be another cold night. Now, is it going to be as cold as the night before? No, but you are still going to be looking at temperatures down toward freezing in some spots here across parts of Alabama and Georgia, but certainly not as cold as what we're going to see here. All right, really quickly, I do want to talk about that this storm is also going to have a little snow with it. You see this coming across the Midwest? There we go. We're looking at this. This is Saturday evening, Sunday morning, and then up into the Northeast on Monday. There's the snow. The one area to keep an eye on for accumulating snow. Most areas aren't going to get a lot, but I do think that while you're not going to get a whole lot across Wisconsin and Minnesota, I would watch this area again from Lansing toward Saginaw, toward Pontiac in the southwest parts of Ontario for some snow Saturday night. Then lake effect follows on Sunday.